We are live.
Oh my gosh. Lynn's having the one and only Rex on the show? Like I tell everybody all the time, like live your life and like your own terms. Like that's the only way to live, right?
Oh, wait. I didn't want to do that yet. Okay, the one and only, the amazing Rex Sikes. Welcome to my show. I am super excited. You were here early and I'm still excited. So, Rex, welcome to my stage. Thank you for being here.
Well, if I was there early and you're still excited, I'm happy. That's cool.
Rex, just so that my audience, they may not know who you are. They may not, and that's okay. But why don't you give a little quick rundown of who you are, and then we'll start the show.
You kind of showed it who I am. I'm this strange guy with dogs and some friends, and I read books. Okay, so I'm Rex Sikes. I'm an author. I'm a filmmaker and actor. I am somebody who's been teaching transcendence and transformation for the past 42 years. I work with everybody, individuals and corporations, and I just have a bunch of fun. I've got two amazing children in my life and two incredible girl dogs in my life currently that I just absolutely adore, both the children and the dogs. And I get to be a guest on a show like yours, which just thrills me to no end. So, and it's odd. I mean, I have embraced the live, love, laugh forever, as long as, at least since 1980, I learned it from someone else. And so that has become a motto of mine. It's part and parcel of everything I do, whether it's teaching acting or teaching transformation. The important thing is to learn how to live and live fully, to love and love deeply, and to laugh out loud and heartily, because it does transform your life. So I hope that serves as an intro.
Absolutely. Well, there's just this I've been hearing little things about this so-called book.
If you want to be a unicorn, that's okay. As long as it's living your life in your own terms, that's all that matters.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I chose the title "Live Life on Your Own Terms." It's life on your own terms. Create the life you want is the title of the book. But the idea is to live life on your terms. It doesn't mean that you're not collaborating with other people or living, with them in mind. But what it does mean is that we finally take charge of our life. We live 100% responsibly for ourselves, and we don't live off of the programming or conditioning that we received from other people, but we retrain, reprogram, recondition ourselves to be able to live, laugh, and laugh out loud, and to let go of all those things that would have been a difficulty for us in the past, or they would still be a difficulty for us if we don't let go of them. And so life on your terms doesn't mean, I tell people where I truly came into my own power in terms of happiness and gratitude was when I decided that I owned the planet. And I tell all my friends I own Los Angeles. It's my city. And people get mad at me. Can you believe this? They go, "What makes you think you own Los Angeles? Or what makes you think you own the planet?" And I go, well, wait. There are lots of other co-owners. In other words, because I own Los Angeles, it doesn't mean I'm traipsing through people's backyards as though it's mine. What I'm saying is that I finally came to the awareness that if I'm going to be in the world, in this vehicle, this rental vehicle, with this brain and these thoughts and these words and whatever, then I ought to act like I own the planet and be an owner of it, as opposed to, or you could say a guest. But the point being is, if I'm an owner, I'm responsible for it. I take responsibility. I need to keep it clean and working well. I need to make sure that everybody's enjoying themselves. Like if I invite you to a party, I want you to come to my house and have a good time. So there's a responsibility in that ownership. But it also is a mindset, because when I say I own Los Angeles, I also say I have the best parking and driving, karma ever. And so I go through all these busy streets and all the freeway jams, and all my friends go, "You're a total ass. How is it that you get from point A to point B like in no time, and I'm stuck in traffic for hours?" I go, "Because I don't care if I'm stuck in traffic."
Right.
If I'm stuck in traffic at the beach, what better place on the planet than to be stuck at the beach? You know,
Absolutely.
and yet people sit, and I used to, I sit there going, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. And I'm like, you need to just stop and smell the roses and own your life and own the moment and own the world, and then be willing to share it compassionately with everyone around you. So that's life on your terms.
I agree with that. And as a matter of fact, that's why I love this show is because I feel like things happen when you let things go out loud. So I have a question here for you. What
Yeah.
things have you let go out loud?
Oh, wow. Great question. Just about everything.
Mhm.
I attempt to let go of the past and live in the present. I've let go of lots of trauma and drama and lots of heartache and hurt. I've let go of the past relationships that didn't, see, I think everything defines you and everything is a blessing if you consider it a blessing. So you should celebrate everything. And what I realized at one point in my life was I was holding on to a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of resentment, a lot of history that didn't have really anything to do with now except that it got me to now. So
Right.
I don't tend to recount my history. I mean, people want to know my story. I did a little bit of it in the book, and I don't typically talk a lot about myself, and I don't typically talk a lot about my day. In other words, what happened before the show, good things might have happened or not so good things might have happened, but some people will tell you all the bad stuff that happened, and they go, this, I was running late, this happened, and then the dog did that, and my car wouldn't start, blah blah, and they have this whole litany of how things didn't work, and I've pretty much let go of that. I don't have to tell people that, and I don't have to keep it alive. There are times when I will, for a point of illustration, or so someone knows, like if I had a doctor's appointment, someone says, why, you were going to meet me, and I go, I can't, I have a doctor's appointment. I'm not going to go into necessarily why or how or what or everything, because it's a doctor or go through my medical history. I mean, just know that I have an appointment. I'm trying to tell you what it is. Um,
Right.
so it's letting go of things that distract and are illusions. In other words, think about this, for example. Um, this morning I got up and I made breakfast. Okay, I'm telling you a little history. And I had my breakfast. And while I'm digesting it, still, because you do for hours, right? The breakfast that I ate is gone. It's disappeared from the plate. The only thing about that breakfast that exists right now, other than what I'm digesting, is a memory of it.
Mhm.
It's not my present, it's a memory. So I could say I had a really wonderful breakfast, or I could say, oh, the breakfast really sucked, but I really make great breakfast. So they're always good. But the point is that people will say, this happened to me when I was 8 years old, and they drag it around with them for another 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And as if, who cares? I mean, it's a memory. So if you understand it, that it's an illusion, it's a memory, and it doesn't need to affect you, then that's what I've let go of. And I encourage people to let go of those things.
And I
Go ahead.
and I agree with you so much that when I wrote my book so fast that I didn't even reread it and I let go of that stuff. And now if somebody wants to read it, and they want to waste their time, they can go read it. I'm not going back there. I don't live in those pages anymore. And I recommend everybody to write their book so that whoever wants to go there, they can go there. I totally agree with you.
Well,
So
I also let go of what I teach. I mean, in other words, people will say, "Hey, I heard your program in another place, or somebody else is using your stuff, or your chapters in somebody else's book, or this, that, and the other." And I'm like, "Yeah." And there was a time again in my life when it would hurt me. I would feel, "Wow, this person's made millions of dollars off of my work." And then I realized, though, if they were making millions of dollars off my work, they were impacting lives that I might never have reached otherwise.
yeah.
So I had to let go of saying I am the owner of my own concepts, or I am the owner of the material. I mean, right? I mean, there's copyright and all this, but the point is that you can't protect it anymore. It's out there, and I've learned more from some, what people would call a bum on a bus stop, sharing some information about their life, or about the wisdom that they've grown up with, or through their challenges, or through their opportunities. I've learned more from someone, just sitting down with them, like I said, on a bus stop or at a meal, or, that you can't hang on to this stuff. It's not mine. It's the world. We were talking before the show. What I share are timeless principles that anyone can use to transform their life. I didn't make up the timeless principles. Some of them I may have articulated in my personal style, or some things I may have blended, and there are maybe some truly creative moments. But in that hodgepodge of all of it, it's there for the world to enjoy, and for people to enjoy now and long after I'm gone. And I can't do anything after I'm gone, so
And Rex,
I try and do it.
I love the fact that you said that you do acknowledge and you do know that maybe somebody took your stuff, whatever, and you let go. But you know what? You're going to be blessed more so because of that, because you live on further in people's hearts and people appreciate you. And I know one person that really appreciates you and it's going to live on really long time is through this one person right here.
Hey, Joe Soto here. I just want to say something really quick about Rex Steven Sikes. I first learned about Rex in 1996. I went to his advanced 14-day NLP master practitioner and modeling training. My life would never be the same. The most important thing, there's a lot of things I learned from Rex, but the most important thing I learned was how to get out of my own way. And he gives you the mental tools and mental models to be able to do that. And that's something I took away that I'll never forget, and I'm eternally grateful for. In fact, he covers a lot of it in his book, Life on Your Terms, Create the Life That You Want. He shows you the pathway to overcoming limiting beliefs, to overcoming procrastination, and gives you the motivational mental models to move your life forward and to be more happier and more fulfilled. So I could not recommend Rex high enough. I give his book my highest recommendation. If you get a chance to train with him, I would encourage you to do it. And Rex, if you're watching this and you hear this, thank you.
See, and that's why we're here, Rex. That's why you're here to be honored on my show. You're here to know the impact you have.
I don't know how you got him to do that. He is so busy.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's not the only busy person in life.
Hello to Rex Sikes. Hopefully you're enjoying your lovely day, and I'm so excited to watch this program you're going to be on. Rex Sikes is truly a living legend. He's been a pioneer in neurolinguistic programming and the personal development arena for about 40 years, as well as working in Hollywood. He's also a very important part of the work that we're doing, and he has a hit TV show right now where he talks about everything from Hollywood to mindset. And so I just wanted to send love, good vibrations, and positive energy to Mr. Rex Sikes. Thank you.
That's the Mo Rock. There we go.
You have picked giants. I mean, Joe Soto and Mo Rock are two of my favorite people in the entire world.
Well, there you go.
I've not been able to reach either of them recently. I mean, they are so truly busy. And the fact that they did this and you did this, I can't tell you how it makes my heart sing. And what a special moment. They are two, extremely busy movers and shakers in the world who are helping shape the world in such positive and incredible ways. That is truly not only surprising and touching, but just wow! It so deeply affects me. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. And thank you, Joe. And thank you, Mo.
Hey, Rex. Lynn asked me to send this to you, and we are part of the Clubhouse community, the One Percenters Club, as well as Facebook. And it's a pleasure and an honor, and I wish you the best in 2022. Bye for now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Again, amazing. Truly amazing. Wonderful.
So yeah, this is what I love to do here.
You're good at what you do there.
Yeah, well, I even got connections, maybe some places.
That's amazing. That's truly amazing. That's wonderful.
So okay. So I want to ask you this next question here: is what's the meaning does living your best life have to you personally?
Living on your terms.
Okay.
It means that you can live, love, laugh, and let go out now. It means that once you've let go and forgiven, it's not just I still do this as a ritual. Every morning I get up and I let go, or I forgive myself from the past, anything I might have done purposely or inadvertently to hurt myself or anyone else and everyone else. And sometimes it's a blanket kind of thing that I do because, or other times certain people come to mind. Or my children, I knew going into having children that parents tend to screw their kids up inadvertently as well as whatever. So my goal is to just always let that go, to forgive. I looked at it this way: if Jesus could forgive those people on the cross,
Amen.
I haven't been on a cross, right? And hope I
Mhm.
never get there. But if I can't forgive the people, and he said, forgive them, they don't know what they do. And I'm like,
Mhm.
people may have hurt me because they live from their patterns, they live from their mindset. They don't necessarily know what they're doing. Even if they know what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. I mean, this is what Jesus was saying when he said, forgive them, they don't know what they do. They intentionally put him up there. They intentionally tried him and put him up there and beat him and did that. They knew what they were doing. And he goes, but they don't know what they're doing. And that to me is such a key to let people off the hook and turn the other cheek. It's not about them. It's about
Right.
the release that you get. It's not about accepting violence in any way, shape, or form. It's about being able to get beyond it and release it. So I release and let go of injuries I may have caused and that other people may have caused me. All events, all circumstances, all people in my life, the places I've been, things like that. I try and just let it go, and then, well, you
You
can't
know,
change it. You let it go. But I'm just.
and that's really good because you're an actor that you said I've heard your interviews before. Go ahead. I don't want to take your words, so go ahead. You've played what have you played as an actor? Come on.
I played killers and rape addicts, rapists and drug addicts, and all
And
sorts
then
of evil characters. And now I play primarily priests and grandparents, and I'm sometimes drunks, but
trying to redeem yourself on the other side, right?
he's total type casting, right? Bad drunk guy is who I am, and it's really interesting, and that is, you play those parts. Here's something. You hear about all these method actors who for 3 months they get into the part, or 6 months, or whatever, they're on the film, they have to be called the character name and everything. I get it. I mean, I get it. I've studied method acting very deeply, but I always didn't want to. And especially as I got into mindset and meditation, I was like, I don't even know if I can continue my acting career, because if I have to imagine all these horrible things constantly, I'm filling my brain, and my brain doesn't know the difference between a real thing and a not real thing. So if I'm pretending to be bad, or I'm pretending to be sick, for goodness sake, and I have to do that for months on end, pretend that I'm, dying or infirmed in some way, then how is that impacting me, the real person? And I've seen so many people get screwed up, and so
Right.
many people have hardship as actors and entertainers, and for a variety of reasons, not just this. But I had you flashed your picture up. There was a picture of me and another actor, Ken Schreiner, who's one of my oldest friends in Hollywood. He was Scotty on still is on General Hospital, and our acting coach was Lillian Chauvin, and that was a lunch that we had in the Valley in the '90s at some point, and she always said, you want an on and off switch. You don't want to have to carry the character around. So when they say action, you go into the character. When they say cut, you're now back to yourself. And so that's what I learned to embody, was to have an on and off switch as an actor, so that it didn't affect me. So that during those moments when I was pretending, I knew that I was pretending. Now, I may not be the greatest actor in the world as a result of that. If that's the case, well, then that's how the actor career suffers. But I respect myself more than doing those things, for art. In other words, that could take a toll on my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, and the health and spiritual well-being of other people. I'd rather say it's entertainment for entertainment's sake, and not. Neil Innes said, I've suffered for my art. Now it's your turn. That's a beautiful line. But
Okay, now
I don't want people to have to suffer, because we have this thing called mirror neurons too, where we do tend to adopt what other people are going through. So in my life, I want to live my life as aware and full and present and happily as I can, so that those people who come in contact with me can do likewise.
well, now I see why you spent the last 40 years doing the NLP and doing the things you've been doing. But before you knew any better, I'm sure you've been yourself in a little pickle here. So I have a silly little question that all my people, when I do the live, love, laugh, they love this one. So you got to pay attention because it's a little funny here.
So have you ever gotten yourself in a pickle? What kind of pickle would you say you got yourself into? That you learned the most valuable lesson ever.
Well, if by pickle you mean a sour experience or one that's less than glorious, because a lot of people like pickles. So
Or yeah, just like a weird predicament or whatever.
then so many of them. But I'll tell you what, this is a weirdness. Here's something I'll share, because to me, it may be the opposite of what you've asked for. But I was teaching some NLP in the Midwest, and I had done a practitioner master track, and I believe I did a trainer track or another advanced program. I had this priest named Father Terry from Ireland fly in, and he was there with people flying from all around the world to train. And so at the end of the training block, which was, each course was about 14 days each. So it's 14 days with a day off, and 14 days for me, 14 days with a day off. So that's, a month, and then about another half a month or another month, I went back to Los Angeles, and I was meeting my manager and a friend of mine, and I picked them both up, and we drove to the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where, we were going to have dinner. And I was being jerky. I mean, I couldn't find a place that I wanted to eat. Everywhere we went just didn't meet my criterion that night for eating. I wanted some place quiet where we could talk and yet at the same time have a nice meal, preferably outdoors, So we went from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, pretty much because I couldn't settle on one. It was kind of like, well, let's at least get through the entire promenade and then decide. So we got all the way through the promenade, hadn't found anything. And it took us over an hour or so to get parking. I mean, I picked up him. He came to my place, and I drove him to her place. We picked her up. We got to the place, drove around for parking forever. Finally got to the mall, and now Rex, of all people, is going, nope, 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 nope. Everybody's kind of getting tired, and and we get all the way down to the end of the promenade, and on the left side, it's not there anymore, but there was a deli, this big, huge deli. So we go in the deli, and it's like, nah, this place is too loud and everything. And we come out, and I said, well, wait a second, I got to use the restroom. And I go back in, and I use the restroom, and I come back out, and they're standing, maybe 20 yards away at the corner. So I walk over to the corner. I get to them, and boom, on my shoulder is this hand clap. And I turn around, and there's Father Terry, this little priest from Ireland. And I'm like, what on earth are you doing here? How would you? He said, oh, I'm visiting family. So if you think about all the different things that had to happen for the two of us to have been together in Wisconsin, in the Midwest, a month or so later, be on this intersection at that time in order to run into each other, I go, wow. And that's how my life is. I mean, I have all these magical moments. Some are glorious, and some are not so glorious, but there's some are truly glorious. And it's you can say, well, it's a coincidence. Okay, I'll take it. You say it's synergistic energy or synchronicity. I go, okay, I'll take it. It's a mystery. I enjoyed it. The fact that here out of in a city that's literally like 14 million people in the daytime, kind of thing, I run into somebody I had left just days earlier in the same spot, and without knowing either of us would be there. And this happens to me constantly.
Well, there you go. Well, I believe so there could have been a part where after you had left that you thought about him again, okay? You must have thought about him. And I believe that when you think about somebody, that's always been a message to me that you will see them or know something about them within the next few days. I believe that happens.
No, yeah. I give you another story. I'm in San Diego. We're teaching an NLP program in San Diego. I'm there. And I decide it's a Sunday, and we get done at like 2 or 3 o'clock. It's early. And so I decide to drive back up to LA. And all I can think about is having an artichoke. I want an artichoke at this particular restaurant. It's called Stanley's in Sherman Oaks or Encino. It's no longer there either. So on my way, I'm driving thinking about the artichoke. I get there. I get to Stanley's. I'm sitting down waiting. And boom, there is the guy who's putting on the seminar in San Diego. He comes. Yeah, and he's like, what? He said, I just wanted to come up and have a burger. Now, I hadn't thought about him consciously that I'm aware of, on the drive up. But we both ended up at the same place 3 hours, 4 hours away with the drive, not knowing either of us would be there, but we both ended up there. And and like I said, this stuff happens to me all the time.
Absolutely.
And I'm always running into really wonderful people.
That's awesome.
And you helped orchestrate so that this very day.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another question. Can you recall a time in your life when you said, I'd never do something and you ended up doing it?
Yeah, almost all the time.
Yeah. And so, and I take this and I say this because I try to teach people, because I do coach people and I've been doing it since 6th grade. And I try to tell people, be careful what you say all the time, because what you say, especially about other people, come back to you. And then they think I'm so psychic, but they go, guess what happened? I'm like, let me tell you. And then I tell them, how do you know? Because one, I listened to what you were saying, karma, whatever you want to call it, whatever. But every time people say never, I mark it in my never book because it always comes back. And so I tried to say that it's just not Lynn, professing this. I love when other people can share their stories so that other people can use it as an example of be careful when you say never.
I love it. There's a 1930s movie. I don't remember which one it was. It might have been Hook, Line, and Sinker with Wheeler and Woolsey, who were forgotten until AMC and TCM revived their memory. They were pre-code, which means they were before the Hayes office started censoring movies, and so some of their humor was that, not that which would be TV acceptable or replay acceptable. It's now that you can see it, you can get their DVDs and stuff. But in the movie, at one point, Woolsey says, "Only fools say never," and Burt Wheeler says, "Do you ever say never?" And he goes, "Never." I have quoted that forever. And I was 7 when I first saw their movies, when I first found out about them, and I quote that. I probably even have it in my book.
I love it.
It's what I would not do, could not do, will not do. If you say I can't, you're right. As Henry Ford said, if you say you can't or you can, you're correct. And one of the in the book, for those who haven't yet read it, I talk about Elvis Presley's white sequin jumpsuit. So if you read the book, you'll know what we're talking about when you get to that part.
This book thing, there's no words to this. So there's Joe, and there's Tom Chenault. Oh, and then there's
Jay Nolan and Lena.
Yep.
Lydia Cornell, the actress, Mo Rock.
Yeah. There's just a couple people. Yeah.
Oh my God, Liz Serrano.
Yeah.
Oh,
look it.
Good morning, Rex Sikes. I just heard you are going to be interviewed on this show. And I'm so excited about that because the world needs to hear so much more from you, about you. Buy your book called Life on Your Terms, Create the Life You Want. Everything about you is so authentic and so real and so right on point in these crazy days that we're having right now. People need what you've got. Your training is incredible. Your heart is even more incredible. And I love you with all of my heart. Everybody should buy your book. Everybody should follow your stuff. Everybody should do your training. Everybody should have you in their life. I love you, buddy. Honored to be able to be a part of this. Just absolutely honored because you are the real deal, my friend. Thank you.
I love you. I mean, God, that's so amazing. For people who may or may not know, I gotta go back. I gotta recount everybody. But Tom Chenault is like one of the top network marketers in the world. Well, top of 25. I mean, if you understand how big that industry is and how it spans the world, and he's one of the very few people in the world who's in the top.
Rex, what's really cool is I've still got Tom, I still have Joe, and I still have Mo to have on my show. The hardest thing is to try to sneak in surprises for them. So I need your help later.
I will help you. But yeah, and Joe Soto has gone on to become a international marketing.
I know, he's amazing. I know. It's just been amazing.
I sit at his feet. I learned from my former student. Joe is a force to be reckoned with. And it's just, I'm so, and Mo is, CEO, publisher of the Los Angeles Tribune. He's an incredible leader in his own right. I mean, you hit me with 3 people and Lisa. I mean, let's not forget Lisa.
Yes.
You hit me with 4 people who are icons and legends and powerhouse examples in their own right. And Tom has contact mapping. If you ever want to learn how to connect with other people and stay in contact with people and impress them and make them have a meaningful experience of you and you of them, Tom Chenault is the guy. I mean, the people that you chose to surprise me with none of them are small potatoes. They're all incredible. I mean, so incredible. I'm so humbled. I'm so honored.
Oh, well, there's other people that, know about you too, like, little elves and stuff.
I know what I want in my stocking. I want to be independent. It'd be nice to live my life in my own terms. Yeah, that's what I want for Christmas. And maybe some new front teeth.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
I'm cracking myself up over here. Oh my goodness. You've never been on an interview like this, huh?
I have not. This is absolutely a first, and I definitely hope it's not the last. This is wonderful.
What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done other than come on Lynn's show?
I was just going to say come on Lynn's show, but now it's already been stolen. That's almost a difficult question to answer. I tend to think, that I'd like to try and do lots of things spontaneously. That's how I live my life. What's the most spontaneous thing I've ever done? This is going to sound really crazy, but the one that comes to mind pales probably by comparison. But I saw an actress friend of mine in a magazine one time, and I went, "Oh, I'm going to date her. She's mine." And the next time I saw her, I said, "When are you going to stop playing hard to get and go out with me?" And she said, "I'll go out with you." And I was like, "It worked! It worked!"
I love it! I love it!
I was almost completely, stupefied that she said yes at that moment.
That's funny. Okay. No, but anyways, that was a good note to. Okay, so let's go to this one. What makes a person beautiful to you?
When they're authentic. When they let go of the masks or the facades that we all tend to perpetuate in our lives, when we can drop that, when they have the courage and the daring to live life on their terms and to make no apologies for who they are. That doesn't mean, when I say not to make apologies for who you are, that doesn't mean to walk through life with both fists raised, like, dare you say something, I'm going to, it just means that they're comfortable in their suit. They're comfortable in their life, and they're comfortable with who they are and the choices that they've made and the choices that they didn't make, and that they're open and available to learning and transforming. I think there's nothing sadder than somebody who says, "I'm me and I'm done and I can't get any better," and that kind of thing. And they live either from pain or suffering or hurt or agony without having hope, without being optimistic, without being positive. So somebody who's truly beautiful to me is someone who's living in their moment, and in that their moment is the culmination of everything that makes them wonderful. And that includes the hurt. Doesn't mean that they don't have any hurt, doesn't mean that they didn't have any pain or suffering, but they've managed to forgive and resolve it and move forward, and understand that by looking back, all of those things brought them to who they are in this moment. And they don't have to talk about the past. They don't have to talk about anything. They're just at home in themselves. That's truly beautiful. And somebody who smiles a lot or laughs a lot, somebody who can let go and just have a fun moment, that's truly beautiful. Somebody who's willing to talk or sit silently or even in awkward silence and just be present is truly beautiful. There's so many things that make people beautiful. It's kind of like I can remember, I was 11 years old. I walked out of my parents' house and I was going down the hill to go to a friend's house, and I looked at the sky and there was nothing. It wasn't this grand vista of mountains or ocean or anything. It was just a neighborhood. And I looked and I just went, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful." I was filled with such awe. The beauty of the sky and the green of the grass and the trees and whatever was going on. That we can find awe in any given moment or any given second is truly an incredible and beautiful thing. And when people can share that moment of, wow, here we are, that's truly beautiful.
And I can't agree more than my classmate, Christopher Wall. Thank you for being here, Christopher. Yes, very well.
Fantastic. How cool.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for watching, Christopher. It's an honor to have you here.
Indeed.
He served our country too. He was a Marine. So I really appreciate that.
No excuses.
Absolutely. So here you have impacted so many people. I have a co-host here, Brian, who sent a little message.
Hey Rex, what's going on? This is Brian Kelm here, sharing a little message. You're on Lynn's show today. How exciting for you. I met you when Ken Walls interviewed you on his show. And from that moment, as being an NLP master trainer, just like Wyatt Woodsmall, the way that you think is just amazing to me. Just to hear you talk is awesome. The way you think, how unique you are in your view of things. And when Lynn asked me to share this message, I was chopping at the bit to do so. So enjoy your time with her. She's a great interviewer. Her show is always fun. It's really interactive. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you. I cannot wait to read your book. It is on my list of books to pick up. So just know that you're appreciated, and I really respect everything about you and what you stand for. So enjoy your time with Lynn. Thanks, Rex.
There you go.
Wow, Brian, jeez. Thank you. I mean, wow.
Yeah. And it is this time of year, so even Santa had something to say.
Children, if there's one thing I want you to learn, is to live your life on your own terms. You got that?
Don't forget that holiday season. I agree. You got Santa Claus all the way from the North Pole to chime in.
I got connections. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have a lot of different takes, and I have a lot.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to say. That's just beautiful what Brian said. That was so wonderful, and wow, I'm deeply, deeply touched. I want to say thank you to all, and thank you to you. Yes.
Well, I did a couple different takes, and I didn't. I did a couple takes, and I just felt like I had to say what I had to say, so I did a couple takes myself. Hey Rex, I want to thank you again for being on my show and taking time out for me, and thank you for being such a reachable, compassionate guy, for giving 40 years to helping other people, and I look forward to getting to know more about you and learning more from you and doing more shows with you. So thank you again for being on my show. I hope I did you justice, and thanks again for sharing who you are and your knowledge with everybody. Thank you. God bless.
Did you get her? Amazing. I don't know how you did that. It's fantastic. You had time to do that?
Oh, goodness. And there's one more. I did. Hey, Rex. Thank you so much for being on Live, Love, Laugh, and Let Go Out Loud. I want to thank you so much for your friendship, for being so kind and generous with your time, for doing what you've done for over 40 years, and for giving back to everyone that has reached out to you. I thank you for the Activator program that I listened to you, and I'm looking forward to getting to know this book really well. And most of all, I hope you felt very welcomed, appreciated on my show, and I look forward to our friendship in the future. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, there's a whole bunch of other questions I could answer or ask you, but I just wanted this. There is one question that I want to leave the audience with, because you are an amazing and great guy, and I really want to encourage everybody to go to rexsikes.com and check out what he has to offer there. And what's really exciting about his book is that if you show him that you bought his book, he gives you like a $400 course for free. And I want to thank you in advance for that. I'm looking forward to checking that out and sharing that with my audience. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And on the interview with that you did with Joe, you had this question here. Send your brain a positive search. Now, you put this in great words for me, because this is what I do anymore, getting older and worrying about, like my mom had Alzheimer's, and I don't think you can inherit that or whatever. But my thing is I don't keep too much on my brain anymore to worry about things and, and store too much stuff there. I try to, declutter and stay with happy thoughts and stuff. But I don't get overwhelmed anymore with, where's my keys or anything. I always just know, relax, stop, think, and let it go. Because usually you're looking for your keys are right in front of you. But as long as you're like, where's my keys, in panic, to me, you can't find them anyways. But the way you spoke to, with Joe about this, I thought it was a great explanation. So if you don't mind sharing that real quick with everybody, that would be really great.
Well, the idea that you can put something down and then not notice it's called a scotoma in psychology or in science. It simply means that it's right there in front of you, but your brain kind of deletes it. The interesting thing is that brains work by searching, and they work by going in directions. So if you say, how come I'm such an idiot? Your brain will give you all sorts of examples. It'll say, well, when you were 4 years old, you stuck your head in a toaster. You didn't have the right parents. You don't have enough money. You went to the bad school. It'll give you all the reasons. By associations, those memories will come up when you ask that question. Brains are so cool because they answer the question that you ask. If I said to you, Lynn, where did you get your headphones? You may or may not remember right off the bat. But
Best Buy.
Huh?
Best Buy.
Best Buy. Okay. So, all right. So now this is the example of a closed question. You don't have to go any further. You got it at Best Buy. But here's the thing about that question is you knew how to answer it. You didn't say, I was abducted by a UFO, or when I was 7, I wore this pretty little dress, or, I'm going to the mall tomorrow. Your brain went, oh, he's asking about the headphones. I got it at Best Buy. But now it's done. But if you say, how much fun can I have today? Your brain doesn't know what the answer is. It's not a yes or no question. So you send it on a search. So if you said, how incredibly wonderful I am, or how good a person I am, or how many positive things have I done in my life, your brain will find those too, in the same way they would find, why am I an idiot, or why am I bad, or why. So it just depends on where you're going to send your brain to search. Now, you're going to be better at one than the other based on how frequently you do one versus the other. If you do one more of the time than the other one, then that's a habit. It's a routine. Your brain will go boom. Like the other one, if you don't do it a lot, needs to have the wheel greased. You need to keep doing it and doing it and doing it to make it a habit, but then it'll become the predominant one you do if you do it more and more. You literally train your brain. It's like, how come I'm so stupid? And it goes like that. And you go, well, and I don't want this. I want this. How come I'm so wonderful? How come I'm so wonderful? So you keep focusing on why you're wonderful and ask those kinds of questions. Your brain, after a while, will make that the habit, because what you think about most of the time or most frequently, what becomes your predominant thinking is what you become. It's why we say what you focus on is what you get. So in this case, if you send your brain on a positive search, what am I grateful for? What am I happy for? What are all the good things in my life? What are my good memories? What are my good times? What are my good things? What happened to me today that was good and wonderful? Your brain will start making those more available to you and will continue to travel that positive road more and more often. And if you do things repeatedly, correctly, consistently for long enough, you make it a habit. What is a habit? A habit is something that's reliable and automatic. You don't have to think about it. So you become unconsciously competent at it. You master it. In the same way that if you wanted to start juggling, if you know that when you start juggling, you're going to drop balls and it doesn't bother you because that's part of juggling, then you'll pick up the balls and you continue to juggle. If somebody goes, I didn't realize they're going to have to pick up balls, I'm done, they will never become a master juggler. Or you start with 2 or 3 balls, and then pretty soon you're doing 4 or 5 balls, and pretty soon you're juggling a bunch of balls, with a chainsaw and an egg, and you're juggling all of them, and you're sitting on a tightrope with a chair on one leg, balancing the, because you've mastered these processes. They become habits. And when you master things and you get good at them, you don't have to think about them anymore. That's when you become truly creative. You don't get to master it. You don't become truly creative in the process. You become truly creative once you've mastered it. That's when the ahas drop in, or the eurekas drop in, because now your brain is freed up to spend time being creative. So you want to keep sending your search in a positive direction. The problem that most people have is they spend all of their day sending it in a bad direction. So they meet you for lunch and they go, you won't believe what happened to me at the coffee shop this morning. And then I got on the freeway, and then this guy on the freeway did that. And then I went to the store and I bumped into this, and I realized I had forgotten my credit card, and blah, blah, blah. And they recount all the crap in their life. And so the brain keeps giving them more of that, because that's what the brain knows to do. So if you want to change your life, change the direction you send your mind in. And it's called trans-derivational search, meaning that it will continue to search after you give up. And here's how I'll finish that. you were talking about not finding your keys, but the same thing is true when you say, what's that person's name? What was that movie I saw? And you go, I don't know, but you know that you know it. You just can't get it back. It's called the tip of the tongue phenomenon. It's right there, but you can't access it. And the more you try and the harder you try, the more elusive it seems. So what do? You say, all right, forget it. I'm not going to get it. And then a second later, minute later, hour later, days later, boom, it pops in. And you go, oh my God, that was, and you name the movie, or that was so-and-so, right? And you name it. The brain keeps working after the conscious mind stops. So if you send it in a negative search or a positive search, it's going to keep working. That's why it doesn't have to keep working after you say a yes or no question. Like, where did you get your headset? How old are you? What kind of car do you drive? You can go, and it's done. But if you say, and how many different ways am I wonderful? How much fun am I going to have today? How much more can I love myself that I haven't done? What can I find to celebrate today? How many things do I have to be grateful for? And you continue to fill your mind that way. Your brain continues to seek those things out and associate those memories and those experiences and those behaviors. So if you want, go ahead.
No, and I love that, and I thank you for that. That's like, it's like last night, and it's like I do it all the time. Everybody enjoys my show because I throw things in there and I have fun with it. But I'm always like, get concerned that I hope this person feels loved and honored, and I do justice, and yet I'm like, I know that they're gonna have fun, and I know I'll do fine, but I'm always at the last minute doing the last little videos, and I think it's like I have to buy a present and then I have to give it to you. I can't buy you a present the month before because I have to give it to you. And I think it's the same thing with the last minute videos, like the little Snapchats I do and stuff. I can't do them early. I have to it wraps up my excitement to do them so that I can show them to you. So I guess that's just the way I work. But I get nervous because, like you and I said about productions, we like to be ready for action. So I guess the training of, theater and the training of shit, that stuff's not ready for production. That's where I'm having the little problems, So until I guess I hire people to work on my stuff there, right now it's just giving me a heart attack. I want to see that stuff before I'm ready for production. So, but again, I love that we're on the same train of thought there. And I guess creatively we're going to have to get together because I think the world is ready to see when Rex meets Lynn and what the heck they're going to do together. Wow, I think you'll agree to that, huh, Rex?
No, I think that's awesome.
So you guys, I will be honored. Absolutely. You guys, this has been an honor and a privilege. And if you guys just came on, you need to watch the show because it was really goofy. It was silly. And most of all, I think it was approved by Rex. And that's all. If anything, that's all that matters to me right now.
Are we done already?
Yes.
Oh, nice. May I add one thing?
Absolutely.
You talked about, getting the book. And if you do get the book, you can find it from my website, which is right there on the screen, or you can get it from Amazon. And I do. Oh, thank you, Scott. Thank you. I haven't been able to pay attention. Oh, Christopher, thank you. Yeah, indeed, I do. Thank you. What a cool idea, Christopher. I haven't been able to pay attention to all the. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Jay. Oh, wow, how nice. That's really cool. I haven't been able to pay attention to all of those. Hello. So I just wanted to say that, if you do get the book, I do want to give you a training. It's called the Mastery Loop, and we've kind of talked a little bit about it in terms of making things a habit. And it's mastering your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, and your pocketbook. I mean, it's mastering all aspects of your life. Thank you. And if you go to rexsikes.com /book, BOOK.
It's below there.
It's below there. It's right there underneath me. And it's right on the thing there on the crawl. If you go rexsikes.com /book, it'll tell you exactly how you do that. You just take your receipt code or number from Amazon and you pop it into a box and you claim. It's a $497 training called the Mastery Loop, and it accompanies the book, and it's something that you can have as my gift to you, especially in this holiday season. When and if you want to give the gifts, the holidays, I encourage you to get the book. Give the book.
Except, it's allowing me. Usually
it turns around sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what the key to that is.
I'm super excited. I just got the book this past week, so I didn't get a chance to read it yet. So I'm super excited. But you guys, thank you so much. Watch the little surprises. I did surprise Rex with some amazing people that really look up to Rex.
Truly wonderful people. I can't tell you how thrilled and blessed I am.
All
And
right.
thank you for doing that, all my friends. Thank you. Thank
you
you for
stay-
tuning in.
Aw. Well, you guys, you stay right there, Rex, and I'm going to close out with the little video that I did at the beginning for Rex. So you guys have a good one.